Hey guys, it's Big Baz. This is take 2 on the Rogue Legendaries video. The previous one wasn't so well received, and I don't know if that's because people just don't like rogues, or maybe they just don't like me, or maybe it's because I didn't have a clue what I was talking about. So I've decided to do it again, and do it better. So here comes a more informed Rogue Legendary video. Cheers. So I'm going to start off looking at some of the Outlaw Rogue Legendaries. First up, the Greenskins Waterlogged Wrist Cups. Equip Between the Eyes has a 20% chance per combo point to increase the damage of your next pistol shot by 850%. A pistol shot is a ranged attack that rogues have. You can be used for ranged kiting. The main use in the basic melee rotation is that it gets procced when Saber Slash hits twice. So the 50% chance to strike an additional time, making your next pistol shot free. And with that you can take Quick Draw, which increases the damage and down by 50% and the combo points generated. Now the free proc version also has a chance to proc Blunderbuss. Now the original pistol shot hits once for I think around 30k damage. 30k damage is the base one, okay? The Blunderbuss hits for 65k damage, it's more than double the damage. It also hits 7 times. What this means is that and each hit can crit of these 7 times. So it means that it averages out a bit more. 7 hits means most of the time you will just get 65k damage. So what the braces do is, Between the Eyes is the new kidney shot. It's a ranged kidney shot ability that works like kidney shot but with a bit of damage and the stun, yeah, at range. So you're going to get to 5 combo points, and then you're going to use this. Then your next kidney shot, pistol shot, sorry, is going to do 850% more damage. So I'm going to use Quick Draw, and I'm just going to look at the big Quick Draw crits. Go on here now. I'm waiting for the pistol. It's okay now. We're gonna do the Between the Eyes, and I'm gonna do 301k damage. I'll just show you the ability, same ability again without that. 31k damage. Yeah. So we've done 10 times as much damage then. We've got 50% extra here. We got 850% extra on here. I'm not 100% sure how they stack together. But 300k damage is pretty nice. But we haven't seen the Blunderbuss yet. So let's go for the Blunderbuss. Keep on pressing this until I get a Blunderbuss. Wow, this is taking forever. There we go, Blunderbuss. Okay, watch this now. Between the Eyes, Blunderbuss. You seen lots of damage because it hit 7 times. Did 996k damage. That's almost 1,000,000 damage. I haven't got a trinket equipped. My gear is basically entry level PvP stuff. Absolutely crazy. What my item level? 757 equipped. That's because I haven't got a second trinket. But yeah, that's pretty crazy. Next up, we've got Thraxy's Tricksy Treads. Run through deals increased damage equal to 50% of your increased movement speed. Run through is essentially the new version of Eviscerate. We've got Fleet Footed, which is 15% movement speed by basics. This is just 50, so you got 7.5% damage increased there. We've also got Talent Hit and Run, increases the movement speed at all times by 15%. I think it adds up additively. I can't tell because there's no movement speed tooltip here anymore at all. Thank you, Blizzard, for that. That's great. And we've got Sprint, which is 70%. So that puts us up at 100% or 50% additional damage on run through while Sprint is active. So here we've got a damage example. I've taken off all the movement speed apart from fleet-footed. And I'm just going to do a full 5 combo point run through on the dummy. I've got no trinket on, so there are no procs, so it'll be the same. And every hit is a hit, no crits. So we see 103k damage there. 103k damage. That's just with the boots, with no extra movement speed other than the 15% we get from fleet-footed. So now we've got hit and run taking us another 15% movement speed. We're going to do another 5 point run through. And we got 110k damage. So we've gone up 7k damage from the last one. Still a hit. No procs or anything interfering. Just the movement speed damage increase. And finally, we've got hit and run, we've got fleet-footed, and now we're going to use sprint as well. With a 5 combo point run through. Sprint. We've got 144k damage. So the strength of this legendary is going to depend on how much movement speed you've got on your gear, and it's going to be dependent on how well you use your sprint. Like if you match it with Curse of the Dreadblades, every saber slash gives you 5 combo points. Of course you take damage, but it's meaningless amount of damage. So if you've got, let's say we've got a 50% extra damage on our run through during sprint. Sprint lasts 8 seconds, so if we're using that during Curse of the Dreadblades or during Adrenaline Rush, when we've got a good chance to make a couple of these run throughs, we can increase the damage potential burst quite significantly via the use of sprint on these boots. How good it'll be overall, I have no idea. I'm not a rogue expert, but yeah, the potential is there. Moving on. So the next legendary on the list is Insignia of Ravenholt, the Ring. Your Saber Slash and Ambush deal 15% additional damage as shadow to all targets within 15 yards in front of you. Now, the spell actually works a bit like Sweeping Strikes, but against all targets. And what I mean by that is, you can be standing on the target and the targets around it will not get hit. Now you can continue to target your main target, but if you move your character next to the other targets, then it'll hit. So it causes a lot of gameplay sort of frustrations in the same way that Warrior Sweeping Strikes does. You need to be standing almost on top of the mob you want to be hitting to get the actual ability to hit, whereas the main target isn't so important. So I'll give you an example now. I'll target the middle dummy, but I'm going to be trying to hit this one on the right here. So first I'm just going to stand on the middle dummy, and you'll see that it's not going to hit any other target. So if you look, Insignia of Ravenholt is doing damage, but it's not hitting anything else. So I'll just use my Adrenaline Rush, and I'm going to stand next to this target. And suddenly, it's now hitting the off target too. So the positional requirements on this legendary are a little bit annoying. But yeah, it's got a potential. How good it'll be is up to you to decide. Like I've said a million times, I'm no rogue expert. So our next legendary is Valera's Will, a pair of legs. Now this is not a spec specific legendary. All specs have got Faint. So this causes Faint to heal you for 30% of your maximum health for 5 seconds. Now Faint is already pretty strong. 50% AoE damage reduction for 5 seconds for a 20 energy cost. If you talent Elusiveness, it becomes non-area effect damage as well. So all damage for 30% for 5 seconds, including the 50% area effect, if I think that's how it works. And then we've got these legs, which heals you for 30% of your health over 5 seconds. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. I don't need to go into too much detail about this. It's a very strong heal. This should make rogues almost self-sufficient in raids, I'd imagine. But yeah, insanely strong. Moving on. Next up, we've got Cinderia the Symbiote. A belt. Your attacks cause an additional 100% damage as physical to enemies above 95% health. So on the pull of the boss, this is going to be pretty impressive. At least early on, when you're not melting the start of the fight. But yeah, you got Curse of the Dreadblades, you've got the Adrenaline Rush, your Pre-Pot, your Bloodlust, all of this, and then this belt is causing you to just effectively do double the damage. It's also pretty good when you've got like new adds coming into the fight, because you know, if you prepare for that, you can get a big opening initial burst on them. How good it'll actually be in practice, I don't know. I guess we'll find out on a fight-to-fight basis. We'll find a use for it. If not, I guess not. I'll do a gameplay example, just to give you an idea. Let's go on a... Have we got a max level dummy around here? Yeah, this is the max level dummy. So let's just do an ambush. So an ambush would normally be doing 100k damage. So effectively it's going to be doing double. No, this is the wrong combat log. Pass. There we go. Symbiotic Strike. Ambush, melee, main gush. So against this dummy, for quite some time, since it heals itself, I'm effectively just going to be doing double the DPS. So let me just bash against that for a while. Yeah, so we're just doing twice the DPS, which makes that, in isolated situations, an incredible item, and perhaps in other situations, not so great. So the last up of the non-spec specific items, we've got the Dreadlord's Deceit. While Tricks of the Trade is active, you deal 25% increased damage. Tricks of the Trade has got a 6-second duration and a 30-second cooldown. It doesn't cost any energy. So yeah, it's just a 30-second burst window sort of damage buff. Pretty decent, I guess. How it'll compare to the others, I don't know. But yeah, cool. So next up, we've got the first of the assassination items. Duskwalker's Footpads. The remaining cooldown on Vendetta is reduced by 1 second for every 30 energy you expend. Vendetta has a 30% damage increase for 20 seconds. Makes your targets visible even through concealments such as stealth and invisibility. Now it's a 2-minute cooldown normally, but through Master Assassin, some artifact talents, we get 10 seconds reduced cooldown per point, up to 30 seconds, and additional relics could increase that further to lower the cooldown further than the 1.5 minutes or 1 minute 30 seconds. It also applies a dot for 486,000 nature damage over the 20 seconds, and activating Vendetta refills all your energy. So having Vendetta on your target and using this is a big benefit. So what the boots do is, for every 30 energy you expend, you reduce the cooldown on that by 1 more second. So the second of the assassination legendaries, Zoldyck Family Training Shackles. Your poisons and bleeds deal 40% increased damage to targets below 25% health. So it's a rogue execute sort of buff. Now, rogues have got a lot of bleeds and poisons, even more than it would look like on the surface. So yeah, we've got the Garrote, which is now a non-stealth combo point generator with a cooldown. We've got King's Bane, which is a poison, which is your artifact ability, 45-second cooldown, poison, instant damage, and dot. We've got Rupture, which is just Rupture as we know it, big damage, long duration dot. But then we've got the artifacts and the way the artifact interacts. So we've also got Vendetta, yeah? Which is our damage increase cooldown. Vendetta also adds a poison dot. Every time you cast Envenom, you've got a chance to do another poison dot. 291k damage to all enemies within the pool of acid that's thrown on the floor for 6 seconds. Blood of the Assassinated increases the damage of Rupture by 100% for 10 seconds. And there's another one, and this one increases the increased poison damage you deal to the target by 10% for 5 seconds. We've got all these different stacking synergies within the artifact. And with the base rotation itself, obviously just Garrot, Rupture, that make these bracers pretty strong for the last final 25% of the fight. So now we're going to take a look at the first of the sub-legendary items, the boots, Shadow Satyr's Walk. Shadow Strike restores 10 energy, plus an additional 1 energy for every 2 yards between you and your target. So Shadow Strike is basically ambush as we used to know it, combined with Shadow Step. Cost 40 energy, was 2 combo points. So it's still going to cost us 40 energy to cast this, even with the boots. You can only cast in stealth, by the way, or with Shadow Dance. It still costs us 40 energy, but the boots are going to restore at least 10 energy back. And then depending on distance, up to 25 yards, which is up to 12.5 extra energy. I'm not sure if it'll give us that 0.5 how that works, but up to 12.5 extra energy, so you're 22.5 extra energy if you were to cast it at the furthest possible distance of 25 yards. In addition to that, we've also got the talent Energetic Stabbing in the artifact. Cheap Shot and Shadow Strike have a chance to refund 15 energy. Takes 3 talent points for that. It could be higher as well with relic slots, so it could be higher. But that's just a chance. So the possible chance is you could end up casting Shadow Strike and being refunded 37.5 energy if you were to use it at the furthest away. Or at least to be refunded 25 energy if you were literally standing on top of the mob. So I'm gonna give it a little test. Let's try and go from as far away as possible. There we go, that'll do for now. And you can see how it works. So we're looking at the second sub-legendary, some wrists, Denial of the Half Giants. Your finishing moves extend the duration of Shadow Blades by 0.5 seconds for each combo point spent. So the Shadow Blades itself is a 3-minute cooldown, lasts 25 seconds, but it doesn't, well, it lasts 15 seconds it does, okay? But Soul Shadows, the artifact trait, increases that by 10 seconds after 3 talent points. So it'll be like 3, 6, and then 10. Artifact relics could increase that further, so the duration could be increased further through artifact relics as well. So a 5 combo point finisher is going to increase that by 10%, the duration by 10%, or 2.5 seconds. And if you take in Deeper Stratagem, where you can get 6 combo points, then that goes up to 3 seconds extended per 6 combo point finisher. So we're going to take a look at some gameplay with these Shadowblade bracers. I'm no expert at playing Rogue and I haven't learned to play sub properly, but you should get a good idea. Server's lagging a little bit at times, so I apologize for that. So I've got my combo points up to 5 before applying the initial first Shadowblades, so that I can extend it straight away. And for every 5 combo points we spend, then we get a 2.5 second increase on the duration. So with good playing, even with this lag, we're going to be getting probably close to a minute duration on Shadowblades. So what we're achieving is turning it from a 25-second duration cooldown up to even maybe a minute, or maybe even higher with the addition of Bloodlust and other buffs. So a 33% uptime sort of thing. It's just about to drop off now. I've extended it. Yeah, there we go. So we had around about 50 seconds worth of time, but I think if we had like a Bloodlust and we had a little bit less lag, and if I knew how to play the spec a little bit better, you know, we could, and depending on gear with haste and stuff, we could be looking in the region of a minute duration on Shadow Blades with this legendary. And so that's it. That's all of the rogue legendaries. Hopefully this video was informative, and I'm looking forward to seeing how all this plays out when the expansion actually comes out, and get to see which legendaries are best. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, subscribe, leave a comment, and have a good day. Goodbye.